Hey everybody, Brian, Castle Hives here, Northeast Ohio Beekeeping. We're in the apiary again. We got work to do. Alright everybody, so plan today with the hive inspections. I'm going to peek real quick into the bee castle again just to make sure that, you know, it's building out like it should. We're going to peek on the main castle hive and fireball just to see how those supers look. I'm just curious how the nectar flow is. If it's slowing up some, then I'm going to pull those supers off because we're going to be real close to the time where I also need to get through and do my oxalic acid treatments on all the hives for the mites. So this is like that critical time where I need to make sure that that flow, you know, slows up. And instead of, with the hives with supers, instead of them, you know, using what's in here, I'm going to pull those off and save it and then treat for mites. So when I'm done with all of my treatments, by the time the next flow starts up, you know, I'll be done with that cycle of treatments and I can put these supers back on. That way the girls can continue working those supers. So let's get the bee castle open up. I'm just curious to see how this looks, and then we'll move on to the others. So I can see girls from here to here, so that's okay. Some empty frames there. We have our small hive beetle trap there. So let me pull this outer frame here, just to give myself some room to work. Jeez. Very first frame here that I pull out is the queen. And they packed nectar in that frame there. She is right down on there. Oh, good brood here. Good brood there. There, I see the queen on that frame. Walking right over there. Wow. That's what I call a brood frame right there. Look at that other side. Beautiful queen. Beautiful. So, bee castle, I'm just going to put it back together. These premier frames here. So, if I notice that they haven't touched this yet, so I'm going to move this one in and put these on the outside. So, what I really got to watch is the nectar flow this time of year is going to slow up. Now, if that's the case, then let's get that in there. If that's the case and the flow slows up, then I'm going to start feeding this colony so that it builds up with plenty of time, you know, for the fall flow and winter. So let's move on to main castle hive. Alright, for main castle here, we're just going to check these supers and a couple frames in this top box here. That's it. Alright, so this top super here, it doesn't look like there's much action in it, so I may end up taking that off. I mean, the flow might have slowed up some in Ohio. This here is comb honey that they're building out, so they're still working these supers. Now, what I may end up doing is because they're working that. They're working that there also. Let me look and see what this next comb looks like. This is all fresh, this is comb honey here. So they're still working it. I tell you what I probably will do is, and this next they're working, so they're working this super, okay. What I probably will end up doing is putting, move that over. I'm going to probably remove this other super because they're still working this. I think our flow is slowing just a little bit. So I'm going to get a bee escape, put it on that super. I'll put it here and then put that super on top of it so that I can get the bees out of that, and then I'll just remove that super tomorrow. Alright, so if I can get into just, these 3 frames here, I just want to take a look and see what the brood nest looks like in this hive. Looks good. This frame here looks good. So, just a couple more frames here is all that I'm going to check. So this is a beautiful brood frame. The next frame looks to be brood as well. So all that I'm going to do at this point, now in hive inspections, and it's really, it's beekeeper preference how far you go, but for new beekeepers, at least this is what I do. And I'm no expert, so I'll say that. I'm no expert, but you don't have to necessarily find the queen. You can look for signs of the queen, eggs, things like that. If you're finding all of that and you know your queen is in there, then you really don't have to go through every frame to find the queen. And I'm going to tip this box just solely so that I can look on the bottom and see if there are any cups that have formed on the bottom of these frames. All right. Looking at the underside of those frames, I didn't see any cups. Looks really good. So this colony here is doing, for a first year, colony, what do y'all think? Here, I gotta flip this. First year colony. And we've got 2 deep boxes filled out, honey supers being worked. So fantastic colony here. Let's move on to the Fireball. Okay, we're going to do the same thing with Fireball Hive here. I'm going to check on the supers, check on the top brood box just real quick. Let's see here. This super was checkerboarded. So I'm going to pull this. And just check on the lower super. Okay, so already what I'm seeing is the nectar flow is probably slowing up a little bit because the new frames that I put in, well, they're starting to work them a little bit, okay? So they're starting to work that a little bit. Now, I gotta watch, just because I don't want them to totally, you know, I don't want the flow to just go to a halt and then them move this honey around. That frame there is completely filled out. This is a new frame that I put in last week. And they're drawing that out and they're working these others. Okay, so I probably have one more week left to leave these supers on, and then they are going to come off. And what I'll do at that point is I'll store the supers inside of my bee room, and I will start my oxalic acid treatments. Now, those treatments are going to be over a course of 3 weeks. I'm going to treat them every 4 or 5 days, just depending on weather and things like that. So let's get this super off and let's check on this top brood box here. Okay, let's start on this edge here, and I'm probably going to pull this frame and put it on the frame holder, and then check these 4 frames right here. And like I was just saying too, you know, it's really beekeeper preference how deep you go with your hive inspections. As long as you are seeing signs of your queen, you really don't have to go any further. Look at that. You see how nice these frame holders are. Get on out of there, girl. I tell you what, y'all. This, like today, I think it's in the mid-70s. This is perfect day to do these inspections. I had to look real close there. There's eggs in those cells there. So the queen has, Queen Mary has been close within the last day. Laid that up nice. Okay, so the next frame I can see is all solid brood as well. So I'm stopping right there. I'm not going to go any further. There's no need to with this hive. Alright, so I'm going to get it back together, and like I said, another week, the supers are probably going to come off, and I'm going to start my oxalic acid treatments. Hey everybody, we are at the Perseverance Hive. So I ended up moving this hive out to another property where I had a hive last year at a farmer's property. This hive is there, so we're gonna go ahead and get into this. I haven't checked it in about 2 weeks, so moved it and just let it do its thing, get, you know, accustomed to the area and everything like that. So let's get into this hive here and see what it shows us. Okay, so we're gonna see what this hive here shows us. You all remember, this is the one that started out, thought the queen flew, and ended up she didn't. Let's see what we got in here now. So, y'all, that's guinea fowl. You all can hear the guineas. It's a good amount of nectar on there. That's all nectar. So I'm only going to go about as far as until I see eggs, just so I know that the queen is still doing her job. Yep, there's eggs on here. All right, one more frame. Yeah, this feels like a brood frame here. It's lighter. Yep. Yep. Good brood frame here. Wow, I see some girls on the next frame with yellow pollen, white pollen. So I'm putting Perseverance back together. It is doing good. It actually is using, you know, you see how much of this hive it's using now. So it's doing real good. I'll say, so today we saw all kind of inspections. If you all want to keep following along, if you all are interested in beekeeping, you know, hit that subscribe. That way you can keep following along and get notifications also, you know, for when I upload videos. Hit that like on the video too if you like the video. That really helps out the channel. So, but you all, look at that, the chickens are letting me know. You all take care, and until the next time, Castle Hives will see you.